Coming up on 7:30, we have a sad breaking news update on a story we told you about last hour. Police have now arrested a mother in Lakewood, New Jersey, who they say killed her 2 young children. Ocean County officials tell us 27-year-old Naomi Elkins drowned her 1-year-old and 3-year-old. Police say the 1-year-old also appears to have been stabbed. So this is originally what we heard is that police responded to a home on Shenandoah Drive just before 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon. They tried giving the children life-saving aid, but they did die at the scene. And as I reported earlier, the mother has now been arrested, so she is in custody and facing several charges.
Difficult details, hard to comprehend. We'll certainly keep you updated on that investigation.
Now to a developing story in Philadelphia's Summerdale neighborhood. Police say a man was shot multiple times and killed just steps from a corner store. A second man was shot in the arm but survived.
And police have not yet announced any arrests in the killing. Still no word on a motive, Shawnette.
That's correct, Jason. No motive, no weapon recovered, and tonight the suspects remain at large. And as you mentioned, we have a teenager dead and an innocent bystander hurt.
The crime scene consists of at least 31 spent shell casings.
Shots fired at this intersection of North Folk Rod and Summerdale. The victim, police say, an 18-year-old, targeted and ambushed. He died at Einstein Hospital.
He was shot from a very, very close distance, and he was in fact targeted.
It happened around 5:40 this evening. Police say the shooters drove up, got out of a dark-colored SUV, and shot the teen throughout his body. A pool of blood and clothing remained on the corner hours later as homicide detectives processed the scene.
We know at least 2 shooters were involved.
A man we're not identifying says he drove through that intersection just seconds before and heard something hit the back of his car as he got about 30 feet away.
Like, pop! So I kept on going, normal, because I thought it was a rock. But when I go home and I check, it was a bullet hole. I'm like, wow.
He says he then saw on the news what happened and came back to the scene to let police know. That's also when he found out someone was killed by the gunfire.
Imagine I would have got off and just to check, I probably would have got hit too.
Police say a 64-year-old man walking in the area at the time of the shooting was also hit in the arm by a stray bullet. He was taken to Einstein, and police say he's expected to be okay. The gunman got away. Police are checking the area for surveillance video, including this convenience store that closed early following the shooting.
That's bad, man. It's crazy. You can't even go nowhere, drive nowhere, like a shootout everywhere.
And police have not released the victim's name. They do, however, say that he was known to 2nd District Police. They would not say how or why, but they did say they knew him from previous encounters. No word tonight, Jason, on who wanted him dead and why. Very sad.
All right, Shawnette Wilson, thank you very much.
Now at 5, a man is arrested and charged with murder in the death of his girlfriend's son. I'm Sheba Russell.
And I'm Dawn Timoney. The details are just heartbreaking. Kelly, what are you learning tonight?
Well, Sheba and Dawn, the family identified the 21-month-old victim, the baby boy, as a Nilson Perez Gomez. The boy's aunt telling me they never expected Lopez Gomez, the man arrested in this case, never expected that he was capable of something like this. Nora Perez Gomez comforted by her sister outside a home in Kennett Square this afternoon. Chester County investigators say they responded here Monday night and found Nora's son, 21-month-old Anilson Mauricio Perez Gomez, unresponsive. Speaking in Spanish, her sister telling Fox 29 it's a loss they cannot bear.
EMS was called to the scene, realized very quickly that something was tragically wrong with this child.
The Chester County District Attorney says they arrested Nora's boyfriend, 20-year-old Enrique Lopez Gomez, for the child's murder. Court documents say after originally getting conflicting information from Nora and Lopez Gomez told investigators that on Monday morning around 4:30 in their apartment on West Evergreen Street in West Grove, after Nora went to work, while changing the child's diaper, he tripped over the child and fell, striking him with his knee, saying Anilson cried and wouldn't stop crying, so he punched him once in the stomach. Documents say Lopez Gomez never told anyone what he did. Nora came home and brought Anilson to her sister's house on Cope Road in Kennett Square, where he eventually fell unconscious. Documents say Lopez Gomez came to the home and performed a Guatemalan healing ritual and then left. The child's uncle called 911.
I don't know whether that is just denial of seeing a child that appears dead and being a parent that's immediately in mourning, or if that's a true, deeply held belief that that will somehow work. Mr. Gomez Lopez struck that child in the abdomen area at least once, did not get medical care for that child, and eventually the child died.
The child's aunt says Anilson and his mom have been in Chester County from Guatemala for less than a year, Lopez Gomez for about 5 years. Speaking in Spanish, she says Lopez Gomez asked for forgiveness for taking her sister's baby away from her.
It's a straightforward fact scenario, and unfortunately it's just as disturbing as it is straightforward.
The DA says that Lopez Gomez has an ICE detainer on top of $10 million bail. They say investigators are still actively interviewing witnesses. So far, no one else has been charged.
Just so incredibly troubling. All right.
We're hearing more from the innocent bystander shot last night in West Philadelphia on her way to the store. And we're getting a look at the surveillance video in the moments following that shooting. Our Jennifer Lee reports.
Siani Ingram is now back home from the hospital recovering and in many ways relieved that her injuries weren't worse, because if you take a look, Philadelphia police say over 55 shots were fired, and you can see all of those police markings here on the ground on Wyalusing Avenue.
Well, as y'all can see, standing right here, my nerves is bad.
Her arm bandaged up in a cast, Siani Ingram says she was on her way to get snacks at a 24-hour store when a stray bullet hit her.
It sounded like missiles or something flying past my ear, like fast. And I turned around and looked at my friends. And then once I realized that my arm went numb and I went like this, I dropped. And I was like, I realized and I said, I'm hit, like I got shot.
The 23-year-old managed to get help at a nearby corner bar. A Good Samaritan inside taking her to the hospital for treatment.
It made me feel good. I appreciate it because, you know, everybody don't really have to like do that. So I did appreciate it a lot.
Philadelphia police say the shooting happened around 11:30 Thursday night in the 5400 block of Wyalusing Avenue. Surveillance video from 54 in Wyalusing Food Market shows people running around the time of the shooting.
Shooters fired at least 55 shots, which is a lot of shots.
You can see all of the shell casings marked on Wyalusing Avenue and even a car that was hit by a bullet. Neighbors say the sound of the gunshots rang through the area.
When we heard the shots, as soon as we heard the shots, I kind of like slid down on the floor because it was a lot of them.
It sounded like fireworks at first, but after that, I knew it wasn't fireworks. I heard everybody out here screaming.
Ingram realizes it could have been much worse and says she hopes to keep moving forward.
It's a blessing that I wasn't, you know, shot more times. Like, that's crazy.
So far, there are no arrests, no known motives, and not even a description of the shooters at this point. Philadelphia police say if you know anything about this case, reach out to the Shooting Investigation Group. In West Philly, Jennifer Lee, Fox 29 News.
Developing tonight in West Philadelphia, a shocking scene captured on video. It shows a man being fatally gunned down while standing outside a store. The shooter appears to be firing a high-powered weapon at nearly point-blank range, with several people only steps away. A warning here, the video may be hard to watch. Our Kelly Rule reports.
Law enforcement sources say the shooter appeared to use an AK-47 or a similar high-powered weapon, shooting at least 15 rounds. The brazen shooting happening as people were standing around and walking nearby. We do want to warn you, some may find this video disturbing. Surveillance video provided to Fox 29 shows the moment someone opened fire with a high-powered weapon, police say, killing this man in the white sweatshirt on a busy West Philadelphia corridor just before 8 p.m. Saturday night. You can see him standing there as people come and go from a corner store. We are pausing the video before the shooting, but this is what it sounded like. The alleged shooter, wearing a mask, fired from close range.
It was just really horrifying because it scared my baby to death.
Gwen Butler says she was sitting outside on the porch with a 2-year-old and 6-month-old.
We heard this like cannon sound, and it sounded like 9 shots or better because it was just going on and people were scattering.
Philadelphia police say the victim, who they would only identify as a 23-year-old man, was taken to Penn Presbyterian Medical Center by police, where he died. The gunfire erupting on 52nd Street, right near Market Street, about a block from where police have a vehicle stationed. Kevin Richmond works at a barber shop nearby.
How do you got a cop right here, and a man pull out an AK and kill somebody right there? How is that? I don't understand that.
We showed Butler the surveillance video of the shooting. She recently moved to the city from Baltimore to be close to her son.
I just see how random it is, how impulsive it is. Somebody decided to do it and they executed. And it's like, who are you? These young people, your decisions to do these things is not conducive to everybody living in this community. They need to do something, settle your beef somewhere else, or learn to sit down and get over yourself. It is horrifying. I'm tired of seeing my young people die like this. Really tired. And it doesn't belong in Philly or any other city.
Police say they are looking into whether or not this person got out of and back into a vehicle. If you have any information or additional video, they want to hear from you. Reporting outside police headquarters, I'm Kelly Rule, Fox 29 News.